Good morning, Mr. Levin Gaines.
Good morning. Good evening. What time
Good
is it?
afternoon. It's time for some Midnight Vibes, ladies and gentlemen. Season 2, Episode 9. Now, disclaimer, I'm in a lot of pain right now on my hip. I have to wait till Monday to go to the hospital, but that does not stop me to do one of my favorite shows on my channel and one of his favorite shows as well this way. Now, how was your week, Mr. Levin Gaines, before we get to the topics at hand?
Good. It was a really good week and a really good day. Surprisingly, a really good day. So I'm good. I'm definitely up. How about you?
I want to give a shout out to Mejora Tu Vida Club and Joy West Press. She gave me some nice good medicine to help me through the night. I don't give a shout out to them late in the future around September. I'm gonna start highlighting her channels more. I was teaching her today how to use remixes and shorts. It's a vital thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a YouTuber. But my girlfriend's coming back in a few hours from her trip around the island, so I'm very ecstatic about that. I'm about to wreck her ass with love. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the topic for today in Midnight Vibes Season 2, Episode 9, and this time I remember to upload this shit. Public altercations. Yours, Mr. Levin Gaines.
Wow, fresh off the dome, as some say. I was just speaking to my niece about this, as I was getting prepared for the show and stuff.
Yes.
By the way, I have to remind myself that this is a job because on Saturdays, I just be sitting there chilling and minding my business. And I'm like, oh, it's time for Midnight Vibes. I got to, prepare and get this stuff together. But it's just so natural, what we got going on here that doesn't even feel like work.
Damn right.
But anyway, so I want to talk about public altercations. Has anyone personally been involved in any type of public altercation, dispute, any nonsense like that? Of course, I'm going to ask you, Coquito, in a minute, but I just want to talk about the few that have been circling around, and one which has been circling around and recircling around, which is the Montgomery, Alabama riverfront brawl. So I actually don't watch any news, so my pieces that I have received are strictly from social media. But there's the Montgomery, Alabama issue. Then there's the Los Angeles Pride event that was a protest, and apparently there was a trans flag burned, and there was a scuffle outside of an elementary school. But these are the top two one that I keep scrolling through and seeing on social media. But I just can't forget about this riverfront brawl, because what I've seen so far was a hat being thrown off. So apparently whenever it's time to fight, people just take their hats and they toss them up and throw them off. I've seen somebody get tackled. I've seen a dude jump in a river and swim across to get out on the other side to wring his shirt out. I've seen somebody hit with chairs. I've seen Crocs turned into socks, all kinds of nonsense. So for those of you out there, have you ever been in a public altercation? And I'm going to share with you mine. So about maybe 13 years ago, because my niece is getting ready to head to Six Flags Great Adventure, which is in good old Jackson, New Jersey. So about 13 years ago, I took my family to go and see the fireworks on the 4th of July. And something strange happened, and one of the fireworks shot off and flew into the audience. So at that moment, everyone started to scatter and leave. So I got in my car just like everybody else, and we're all trying to leave at the same time, which causes a big old traffic jam trying to go out. Well, I had this Volkswagen Beetle back in the day that I was restoring, and I knew that it had a bent rim. And as a result of the bent rim, every now and then my hubcap would fall off. Okay. And I had a spare in the back in my trunk that whenever it fell off, I would just pop a new one on and keep it moving. I should have got it replaced, but that was my way of fixing it. So as we're leaving, I hear a crunch. I'm like, oh, that's me running over my hubcap. So I'm like, let me get out the car and fix it. So as I was getting out, the person in front of me heard the crunch and saw me getting out, and she thought that I hit her. So she gets out of her car and she starts going back and forth, screaming and yelling, saying I hit her. And I'm like, ma'am, I most certainly did not, because if I did, you would see my car bumped up against yours. I said, you don't see that. There's a big old gap. There's no way that I hit you. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So after telling me this about maybe 15 minutes, there's a long line behind me. Everyone's trying to get out. They're scrambling because of the firework issue.
Yep.
And this is on the 4th of July, mind you. At Six Flags Great Adventure. So people are beeping the horn and cursing at me, cursing at her, and she's trying to tell me I did something that I didn't. My kids are in the car watching. And finally I said, listen, bitch, I did not hit your car. Oh, you called me a bitch. Now, mind you, this is like 13 years ago. You know, this stuff is acceptable now. Back then, I guess it was Queen Latifah, who you calling a bitch, UNITY type shit.
Yeah.
So you calling me a bitch? Absolutely. Yes, I am. Well, I'm going to go and get my cousin. I said, called her another one. Go ahead and get him, because you're trying to tell me that I did something that I didn't. So anyway, we're basically going back and forth. People were beeping and honking. It took maybe about 30 minutes for the cops to show up. This is all going on back and forth. And we going back and forth, arguing with each other. The cop comes out and said, did you threaten her, sir? I said, yes, I did. He's like, you most certainly cannot do that. I'm like, I'm sorry, but she's trying to tell me that I did something that I didn't do. So I'm like, look at my hubcap. I said, can't you see that it's bent and I didn't hit her? And he's like, yes, sir, I can see that. But what you cannot do is tell her that you're going to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Long story short, she was able to go her way. I was able to go my way. End of the story. Again, if I tried something like this now, I probably would have been arrested and put in jail for terroristic threats, because at that moment, all of the stuff that came out of my mouth, I can't even repeat it because I don't even remember. And that's the type of mentality that I used to be in, that once you get me all the way up, it's a wrap. So that was my most memorable public altercation that I have had. And as a kid, I remember my mom smacking somebody up at another amusement park. So apparently in this household, we love to cut up at amusement parks. So what about you? Any public altercations?
Laren Gaines. You had to take me there, didn't you? Okay, let's go there. I have 3 stories in my life. 1 that I was in, 2 that I've seen. Now, the one that I was in, okay, I have to take that out. No, I can't say that. The other one that I was in the Navy. Now, a public altercation, we have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, when we get angry, and my girlfriend hates when I say this, anger diminishes intelligence. The more anger you get,
absolutely,
the dumber you get. That becomes to verbal, then to pushing, then to physicality, and then maybe even to like psychotic things, which we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about public altercations. The one that I was in an altercation because I was hanging out with a friend. Let's call my friend Y. Y was a shit talker. He always got me in trouble, but I've always found a way to get around it, just to skeeve away from danger. This one particular time, it did not happen. Y was a ladies' man in his teenage years. Y was getting all the girls in my town because he was different. Want to know why he was different? Doesn't really matter. He was just different. On top of all that, he would always say, "You ain't gonna do shit. I got my boys here," which is just like 2 people, which is me and another guy. So one day, I go to the cafeteria, get some food during my middle school, high school times. 7 motherfuckers come up on me. 7. And 7 from the hood across the street, which I know is bad. So I was like, oh shit. Yo, where's Y? I'm like, I don't know what the hell Y is. Oh, he hit on my girlfriend. He thought it was cool to do that. I'm like, that has nothing to do with me whatsoever. Because again, I'm gonna kick your ass. You told my sister's friend that she had a nice ass. Now again, I'm 13. I have a libido. I see a butt. It's Puerto Rican. It was juicy. I have no regrets saying that, even now. Okay, I was 13. You got to come at me because I was 13 looking at a girl's ass? That's like me saying I'm 16 and I don't know what porn is. I mean prawn, not the word. Sorry about that. I got a comment. Let me just keep going for a second. But as that happened, I evaded that altercation because again, when I was walking away, someone threw a bag of now over here they give you a bag of milk. It's not a box milk, it's a bag of milk. So they threw a bag of milk at me, and I was his right now. When a half frozen bag, what's up, Red Wolf? When a half frozen bag of milk comes in the back of your head, it hurts. It hurts. All right. Now, second altercation continued to this. 2 days later, shout out to YC, rest in peace. He was also a guy that talked a lot of shit. Lot of shit. One day, I'm in the store buying some ices for my friends. I go inside, and in less than 35 seconds, I come out. And in that altercation that just started talking, it turned into a ECW wrestling brawl in a garage. And I remember that fight because I kept holding ices above my head, and I kept telling people, move, move. That's my best friend. Don't drop the, again, dry. I was poor, ladies and gentlemen. Ices was like 35 cents, but that's gold for me. Continuing. As I go in there, I see him grab a giant plastic trash can and smash it over the guy's head. Later on that day, less than 20 minutes later, we're going across the street to the supermarket because that's the only place legally where we can fight before the cops can get there. I get hit over the head with a rock because someone said duck, and as I told you, I thought it was actual duck. I got hit over the head. And another guy got hit. Long story short, never mess with a guy that says that he practiced kung fu, is a black belt, and is friends with a dumbass who talks too much. Bad things happen. Third altercation. Third altercation is my funniest. Third altercation happened to a friend of mine. Let's call him the Bird. The Bird was a guy that did a little bit of Jeet Kune Do. A little bit. And thought he was hot shit. Right? He's being Bruce Lee moves and shit like that. One day, I'm hanging out with Bird. Bird is talking, and there's this guy that I know. Let's call him Bubba. Bubba is a crazy motherfucker. Bubba is a 295-pound man of mostly fat, but there is muscle. Bird is 5'5". There's no weight advantage there for a 5'5" and 296.2. Now, Bubba comes up to me and says, "What's up?" Hey, what's up, Bubba? He doesn't fuck with me. Dan looks at my friend Wing and calls him the G word, right? Which is gringo. Wing doesn't like that. Wing hates that. And give me a second. I hate my computer. I mean, and then on top of that, he tells, thank you, Red Wolf. Haha, sounds like the Bubba I know. And he tells Bubba, "Yo, I'm not a gringo. I'm from Jersey." I'm like, and I tell him, "You say
Jersey,
you say you're from Jersey, kind of affirms the fact that you are kind of a gringo." And again, I was like 25 when I said that. And he's like, "Oh, you're on my side." I'm like, "I'm on your side because I'm your friend, but like, this is the battle. You're not going to win. I can take this guy down." I'm like, "Let it go." And the guy's like, and Bubba doesn't know English. So Bubba asks me, "What are you saying?" I'm like, nah, it's cool. He doesn't like to be called that way. Like, give him some respect. I'm like, "All right, cool. Because of you, Alex, I'll give him some respect." So he walks away, right? Wing has low self-esteem. Still low self-esteem. At one point later on that night, Bubba says something to his friends, then looks at Wing, giggles, and then looks away. Right? Again, I think he's trash talking. But whatever, it's just talking. It's just words. Wing goes running like a fucking velociraptor straight to Bubba. Now, Red Wolf, if you're from Luquillo or anywhere around, this happened in Chelos, right in the bar right there. So 2 front doors, a ice machine right in the front. So he ran and skimmed that ice machine and went straight to the door on the left and jumped him. Now, obviously, you can imagine a spider monkey attacking somebody. For the first 5 seconds, you're really disoriented because, again, it's a spider monkey. You're like, "What the hell? Oh, shit." After 5 seconds, then your instinct jumps in, and what happened to Wing is what happens to a, let's say Alien versus a spider monkey. Alien grabs a spider monkey and beats the shit out of spider monkey. Right? Now, again, this lasted for exactly 11 seconds. Why? Because it was a basketball game people were watching. And as I'm watching my friend getting beat up and trying to get there as fast as I can to either A, see the fight, or B, stop the fight, either, The timer's going down on the big ass screen TV. He shut the fuck up after that, didn't he, Wing? He got up. I told Bubba, let it go. Yo, why is it? I'm gonna fuck him up. He doesn't want from. I know where you're from, Bubba. I know where you're from, and I know that you can resolve this as fast as possible. Don't. He's just a dumb kid. He's just a dumb kid. Okay. Bonus altercation before I finish. You know what happens when someone calls someone a whore? Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Sounds like a problem.
Oh no, the best thing happens. When a hooker in my town called a best friend of mine, shout out to Angelica, a whore. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. Mind you, there was a cop there. There was like a bunch of representatives there, a whole bunch of people there hanging out at the bar. Angelica beat the shit out of her like if you were hungry for a vegetarian meal, Laren. Ghastly beat down to the point that as she's knocked out, like she got punched in the face at one point and she got knocked out. And like if Tyson's fighting, just the cop was there. The cop was there. And the cop said, "Oh, hey, are you gonna do anything?" I'm like, no, because what I saw is that you attacked her first. She beat the shit out of you, and now you're trying to play the victim. She said stop, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Stop calling her a fucking whore. And guess what? You got your ass beat. And then at the end of it, mind you, her fists are like the size of my fist, just thick freaking sausage hammers. So when she got up and like 10 minutes later, this whole part was all swollen in 10 minutes. And then this woman thought she can be hot shit and then go up to the guys and ask for more money or for, and the guys are like, you know what? Ironically, because she did that, she was ostracized from that spot, never to be seen from again.
That makes sense.
But that was my public altercations again. Nah. Oh,
no.
There was one more. 2 old guys were fighting in Puerto Rico. One guy says, "Shut the fuck up." The other guy says, "No, you shut the fuck up." One guy says, "Shut the fuck up." Other guy takes out his gun. Shut the fuck up. And the guy's like, "Put the gun down." He didn't back up. He got closer. "Put the gun down, I'll beat your ass." Because over here in Puerto Rico, you can have a gun. But over here where I'm from, where I grew up, you better put that fucking gun down. You better put that gun down. You want to be a man, beat me up. Or try to. Because the second you put that gun and shoot me, then you automatically have a timer of death.
Wow.
That's all it is. But that's altercations that we can go to another day. That could be called the way of the gun. Obviously, die by the gun, live by the gun. Honestly. But that's me. That's it. I'm done.
So, yeah, that's it for me as well, public altercations. I could talk to you all in the future about how I said some nice choice words to a car dealership because they sold me a car that didn't work well and transmission ended up blowing. And then they wanted me to come and pick up paperwork. So I said, well, how can I do that when I don't have a car? The car is not working. And he says, oh, well, you better figure it out. And I said, well, listen, you better figure it out. And you better mail me my information and the registration and the title. And I said, and if you don't, and I have to come down there, trust and believe I have no problem coming down there at all. But, sir, once I get there, you are not going to like it. So it's in your best interest for you to send me my paperwork. And I'm not going to say what I said over the phone. No, but needless to say, I didn't have to drive an hour to pick up that paperwork. But so my public altercations did not result in me physically harming anybody. They say that the tongue sometimes is a little more harsher than the fist.
It is.
I speak from experience. That's my public altercation.
That was true. And we have a new topic, shady deals. Because I know I've seen firsthand shady deals. And I have a couple examples from Florida and everything else of like shady deals. So, ladies and gentlemen, put it on the board. All right.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's kind of weird how life is that we find topics as before we even look for them. Mr. Larry Gates, before I say those magic words and before we do those magic numbers, we have one more thing. Uh-oh. I work at a dealership and I believe that story. There you go. There you go, man. That's life. Mr. Larry Gaines, what is time? What the hell? Sorry. What time is it? The hell, I'm drunk.
It's time for music news.
Oh, man. Alcohol. It
Wow. So this week on music news, we got a lot here. Um, August has been interesting as far as losing two people. DJ Casper, the person who's infamous for the Cha Cha Slide, passed away. And then most recently, rapper Magoo passed away. Timbaland's sidekick. I know him best from Missy Elliott's first album, Super Duper Fly. He was featured on Beat Me 911, featuring 702. And that was one of my top joints off of Missy's album. I used to always play that. And when Magoo's part came on, I would like lose it. So it's sad that, hip hop has lost Magoo at 50 years old. So Timbaland and Missy have been recently speaking out on it, and I'm sure that we will hear more in the future with that. Moving on to these new releases. So Selena Gomez has been teasing the fans, saying that there's going to be some more music coming out. And I think that she's going to be releasing a new album. And I think it's going to be called SG3. I'm not sure, but she's been teasing the fans about that. So we'll wait and see. Moving on to Miss Miley Cyrus. I have been listening to this Endless Summer Vacation album all week. And Miley, I just want to say, whoever hurt you, I'm so sorry. But listen, I've been there before and I get it. So I don't know what's going on with this album, but if you listen from it from top to bottom, it does sound like an endless summer vacation. By the time you get to the end, you want that vacation to be over. I was looking like, what just happened from top to bottom? But I will tell you that I love the Flowers album. The Flowers song. I jumped on that bandwagon a little late, but I'm definitely loving that song. But I also like Muddy Feet featuring Sia. That is definitely my joint. But again, Miley, I don't know who hurt you. I don't know if you wrote all these records, but damn, you definitely did that. So apparently there's going to be a new single coming off of the Endless Summer Vacation album from Miss Miley Cyrus. Check out that Muddy Feet, though. That's my joint. Moving on to Mr. Chris Brown. Coming in November, he's releasing a new album called 1111. This is going to be his 11th studio album, and it's going to have 11 tracks, unlike his marathon of music that he's been releasing most recently. Some of his albums have run 2 and 3 hours. So he told the fans that he's just going to release 11 simple tracks. This album is going to be called 1111. It's going to mark his 11th studio album. And his reasoning for this is he wants the fans to miss him because he's given everybody too much in the past. So I get that. Some of these, I'm like, damn, 20, 30 tracks. So let's take it to the basics and give our anywhere between 11, 12, 15, 17 track. I got you. So Chris Brown is going to be doing that in November for his 11th studio album, 1111. And ladies and gentlemen, that was music news.
Now, before we go to you know what? I'll just do that real quick because I want to talk about that real quick. You know what's weird and ironic about that album? First off, I didn't know Chris Brown make 2-3 hour albums. Boy, you are not Prince. Bring that shit down. All right, 1. 2, when you said 1111, it reminded me of a movie called 1111. It was Patrick Swayze's last movie before he died of cancer. And I remember that movie. It's a genitalia gets cut in that movie, ladies and gentlemen. Look it up. It's a very it stays in your mind forever. But it's a good movie. Very underrated. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the second part of the show, which is YouTube a responsibility.
This right here, you want one, it'll cost you $1,000.
This is going to be very spicy and very ranty. So if anyone doesn't want to chill out with us, I understand. Leave a like and just adios. Now, lately, as you already know, Mr. Larry Gaines, I've been blowing up on YouTube a lot more faster than I've expected. I estimated to get to 2,000 by the end of the year. Now I estimate to get to 2,000 by November at the most. Maybe even by Halloween. Say like that. Now, the trick to that, and I'll let you in on a nice little company secret, is remixes. Now, what is a remix? A remix is that you take 5 seconds of a video, a short, a clip, whatever that's on YouTube that's allowed. Then you add up to 10 to 55 seconds of whatever you want to say or whatever you want to put on, add it on. It's kind of like if you watch a movie and then you put your own little clip of it. Kind of like what Tubi does. Shout out to Tubi, you suck. Now, the part that I don't like is that a lot of people, I've done a lot of remixes on big YouTubers, Night Talk, Mindless Soul Entertainment, Tyrone Magnus, Fresh and Fit, Adam 22, all those guys. As you saw, yeah, those guys as well, and a couple conspiracy theories. I did another one about King blah 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 of Spain the Second, the inbred guy. But when I started remixing, I get the hate from their followers. Oh, you're dumb. You're this. You're a fentanyl addict. You're unwashed. You're going to hell. You're going to burn, and yada 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 yada. Whatever. Now I started delving into their lives. Let's go to one person first, one by one. Night Talk. Night Talk, I've noticed, is, without disrespecting you at all, this is me saying this, not Larry Gaines, leave him alone, a Tyrone Magnus copy. Clear cut. Same style, same format, same type of talking, except you're more closer like this and sideways. Again, no shade. And I started listening to him because he was funny. He started doing music reactions and just like Tyrone Magnus. Then right after 2021 is when everything shifted. Everything shifted. Trans rights, LGBTQ plus, and everything else started coming out. Me Too movement started coming out. And then you started seeing how they really thought. Now, Mr. Night Talk is anti-everything. Anti-trying to learn stuff in school, anti-this, anti- if you're a woman, you're a woman, you're a man, and man, I don't give a crap what you think. I don't care. My girlfriend and I had a discussion a few days ago about this. And I'm going to say this quote, Mr. Larry Gaines, because someone said this on TikTok and we had a discussion about this. Do you believe this or not? Feelings are real. How do I say this exactly? In the video, basically she said that feelings are real arguments. In this, I'm paraphrasing, that there we go. Feelings are real opinions. True or false?
Personally, I would say false, because I can feel one type of way and you can feel another type of way. Doesn't mean it is right. Doesn't mean it is the truth, because I could be feeling jacked up.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Now, here's the scary part. That person that made the video has half a million people on TikTok. Now that means if not half of those 500,000 will listen to her faithfully, will listen to her every word, listen to her advice. Because, ladies and gentlemen, people learn life through media. They don't learn shit through books anymore. People don't learn stuff from people. People don't learn stuff from experiences. They learn it through media and word of mouth. So all these people that they say that, oh, they're just people, I'm just an influencer, I'm doing my thing. No, you're changing. It's always the fans that do the attacking and not the creators. I'll get to that in a second. What's sad about that is that why in a society now, the YouTubers that I grew up with, Tyrone Magnus, Night Talk, I didn't grow up with Fresh and Fit, first off, Andrew Tate, they're the spokespeople for our not for our generation, Larry Gaines, and not even for yours, for the young generation, for the 20-year-olds, for the 15-year-olds. And then people get mad when someone talks about it. I've talked about his channel. I've talked about the fact that, you know, he's talked about, you got to do it this sort of way. We have to go back to the way it was about the nuclear family. We have to do just be a man and a woman and a child, and women are the problem. Women are this is the part I got mad. He's openly said that modern women are the problem of America right now. And I disagree. You know why? Because the media raised modern women in the 90s. They became mothers, and then they raised their kids to be modern women. But then, in my opinion, something fell off. Something fell off real hard that now a modern woman being raised by YouTubers is this type of person. Find you a man, find you a six-figure guy, live your life. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to cook. There's Uber, there's Dine and Dash. I mean, why? That's my question to you, Laren, because I'm going to keep ranting. What is the future for this generation if all these YouTubers spit out their hate and then make a following of that hate?
Well, it's so funny that you say responsibility, because once you are in front of the world on a platform, you do have some sort of responsibility, because you are influencing whoever's watching you. You're influencing in one way or the other. So in life, there's good and there's evil. There's good, there's bad, whatever you want to call it. There's both sides of it. There can't be all good and there can't be all bad. So you just have to figure out what side of the coin you're going to be on. And if your job is to spew hate and be disrespectful, then I guess that's your job. If your job is to play it straight edge, then that's your job too. So you're going to have followers, you're going to have fans that pick one or the other, and they're just going to go through and they're going to pick whatever side. So, but once you turn those cameras on and you are out there in front of people, yeah, you do have a responsibility, because trust and believe that there's somebody somewhere listening, practicing, being a mini version of you.
And that's scary.
That's it.
That's scary, because think about it this way, like, and you know the reason I changed Patreon because YouTube was not liking my content, and I was noticing off the old stuff I was putting out there a year and a half ago. Oh, and these are quotes. These are quotes from comments that I've not even liked. This is why Black Americans and tax-free breaks don't work together. This is one quote that said that. One person said, "Oh, that's just Black people are just greasy, so that's why they come to Puerto Rico, because the sun burns off the grease off them." Another quote said, "These people that come from Detroit, Chicago, and New Jersey," they specifically said those three places, "are just roaches. They need to get stomped out and get the hell out the islands." And these are comments from people that make videos off YouTube. Now, when I saw that, and they're my videos that people put comments, I said, this is my responsibility that I have to switch this up. And I switched it up. Now I do Coquito News, which is PG, funny, talking about certain thing, whatever. And then Coquito Storm, which you pay $10 a month. Check out my Patreon down below in the links. It's about showing the content and controlling the narrative, not for my benefit, but for the benefit of just saying, here's the stuff. If you don't like my stuff, I will block your shit, because if you, not in the sense of you don't like my stuff, if you leave hateful comments just for your own agenda, I will block it, because this is a safe space to leave comments and ideas and thoughts. This is not a place that you pay $10 to leave hateful comments. No, no. But most people don't do that. Most people like Night Talk, like the people that I hate the most. I don't hate them, but I just feel sad for them, because they're gonna feel bad for themselves when they grow older. Is the Hodge twins. They have been famous ever since 2020, and they got super famous because of their comedy and their everyone's wrong, Black people are this, Black people, like, I'm like, I can never as a person make a channel making fun of Puerto Ricans. One, because I would feel bad. Two, that means I would make a narrative. And three, here's a secret: the majority of people here in Puerto Rico don't watch my shit. So the majority of America watch my shit, and they're going to see me make a narrative that Puerto Ricans are this or Puerto Ricans are that, and that's not the narrative. That's not the truth. That is a truth to some people, but that is not the truth that I see and the truth that's real. And I'm not doing that. So as a YouTuber's responsibility, what I want to do and tell people out there, if you're angry at the world, don't record. If you have problems with your wife, your lover, your partner, your animal, your mineral or vegetable, don't record. If you have an agenda of the day because you heard us or saw a video, which happens, and you just like, all right, I'm scheduling a video, it's YouTube. You can reschedule later. Don't put it out there, because when you make a video, just like if L made a video, if L was angry and made a video right after it, you would feel the hate. Even if he's scripted to say certain things, you're still going to feel the fucking hate. Right now, I know you're laughing because you know damn well it's true. And right now,
it happened to everybody.
Exactly, I know it did. Damn right. It happened to me a bunch of times. You know, I had to stop ranting because I got tired of getting my headache hurting. But I'm saying this now to YouTubers out there, to Night Talk. I'm going to clip this right now. To Night Talk, to Tyrone Magnus, the Hodge twins, everyone I'm tagging right now. You are hurting society. You might not think you are, but you are. Why? Because whatever you put out there gets put out there. Whatever you say gets spun by one narrative, one by another. And you have the power to control that and say, this is what's really happening. But when you spew out your own hate, your own agenda, people like me and the power of the remix button will prevail and get more followers. Because guess what? From all the hate that I get, I still get likes. 14, 25, 35 people like out of 3,000. That tells me that there's some people in the world that are actually smart and are thinking, this guy's an asshole. But Alex Coquito's telling the truth, so I respect that. That's all I got to say about that. I'm sweating. That's it. God. It's always the fans that do the attacking and not the creator. Thank you. All right. Back to you, Larry.
Now, I must say that is so true. It's always the fans. And I have to refrain. I definitely have to refrain and pump my brakes because you get some hate. And my girl has gotten some hate over the years. And I had a choice being the number one fan. I said, am I going to be that fan that stands up? Because when I bark, you know it's going to be loud. Yep. But I decided not to because I didn't want my life to be consumed of me battling people, because they say a lot of stuff and I can spend all day going back and forth with these people defending. And I just didn't want that responsibility of going back and forth like that. So I just reframe. But then I look at it and I say, so just as much hate is out there, there's love out there, but the haters actually help you elevate too. So when you do post something nasty and disrespectful on someone's YouTube channel or Facebook page or whatever, you think that you're tearing them down, but you just gave that person attention, and their views and their likes are going to go up regardless. So embrace it. I know some of this disgusting and disrespectful, but I always used to tell my haters this: wow, I must really be doing something that you took all of that time and energy to write a whole paragraph about little old me. And you put that on there and you took the time out of your life that you can never get back to focus on little old me. All right, then I got that one then. I must be doing something.
And that's the way to go. That's the way I've learned that from you and from everyone from Life Coach. Shout out to Val. Like, just the more hate, that's why I tell my haters, the more you watch my stuff and hate it, you're still watching my stuff. The algorithm doesn't care who the fuck you are. You're still watching my stuff, you fucking idiots. But that was a YouTuber's responsibility. We're going to go talk about that another time in my lives, but I'm not in the right. Red Wolf 100%. Thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, something special is happening. It's magic in the air. I'm not talking about Van Wilder freshman year. I'm talking about Stories with Coquito. First off, shout out to Red Wolf for lasting so long. Onyx Blade, you sexy motherfucker. I know you're around here somewhere. Love you. Now, this story, It's gonna be kind of weird. It's called a bottle and a beer. Now, I've been revisiting my alcoholic years in my life and realizing that most of the memories that I thought never happened. Xanax is a crazy drug, ladies and gentlemen. And now my memories are coming back. One night, I was bicycling home. Now, this was the night after I got super drunk and fell down on my bicycle 18 times. I wanted to get a beer. And I was, particularly sauced, but I had enough money. Hustled, made some money to buy some beer. So went back to the spot to Chelos, got some beer, chilled out at the bus stop. I see this old woman, and this is the old woman in town that everyone knows that she's crazy because she's just crazy. And she's trying to piss in front of the store. Now, there's no bathroom in front of the store. She's just trying to piss there, honestly.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, no, don't do it. Now, curiosity and boredom in an island will make you do crazy things. Someone, I don't know who, and it wasn't me, suggested to, if you're going to pee, don't pee on the floor. At least pee on the bottle. All right. So woman's like, she said something. I didn't understand what the fuck she was, and then she walks away. She crosses the street. She goes on top of the grass where there's little columns and little grass on top of it. She spreads her legs like a fucking antenna. And this is not a young woman. This is like a 65-year-old woman. Old, short, stumpy. And just proceeds to try to fill up that bottle full of piss. Right? Tries. It's disgusting, I know. She goes back to the store and says, here, I filled it up. They're like, that's disgusting. Leave us alone. Like, I want a beer. So one guy's like, you know what? I'll buy you a beer. So they bought her a beer, and it was a Heineken. She's drinking a Heineken, whatever. She's like, I don't like it. It's hot. And someone touches it. Like, no, it's cold. I'm listening to all this. I'm like, oh, it's cold. No, it's hot. No, it's cold. No, it's hot. And then she proceeds to lift up her skirt because she had a skirt and just pour all the beer on her thing. And she's like, oh, my shit's cold, so this shit should warm it up. And we're like, no, what? And then even Cello comes out and like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, my thing was warm. I wanted to cool. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. All right. I'm there until 2. 2 it closes. So 2, everyone's closing. Everyone's done. Everyone leaves at 2 o'clock. I'm just chilling out there, just talking to some friends. She comes back. Now, people leave their empty beer bottles there, right? She proceeds to get every bottle and fill it into the one until it gets all the way filled, right? Then she just sits there. She sits literally by the door. Door's closed. Cello's gone. She sits by the door and just drinks it and then passes out. I leave at around 3 o'clock. I wake up around 7 because of my insomnia, and I go past by the store to go to the bakery. She's still there. Town workers, who it's Monday, by the way. Town workers, they go wake up every morning and they sweep the floor. They sweep the town. They swept the rounder, like a you know those little outlines of death, like
yeah.
They just swept the rounder and they kept going. It wasn't until the fact that the cops had to come and check if she was alive, and then that's when she woke up. And then one woman's like, I know how to wake her up. She's like all groggy. Her friends who lived around the corner went to her house, got some ice water, and just threw it in her face. Like, get home. Go home. So she walked with shame all the way home and was not seen for 2 days. On that day, it's for next week, ladies and gentlemen. That, ladies and gentlemen, was the stories of Coquito. About that, Larry. It was a little. Sorry about that. It was a little gross, but these are things that I've seen because I was fucked up on substances.
So these are the things that I am going to look forward to seeing. What you're telling me? Okay.
Fine, dude. My town doesn't got drunks anymore, dude. No one's pissing on the street anymore. They haven't done that. They haven't done that shit since 2016. You're fine. You're fine, dude. All right. Final thoughts on this episode, Miss L Gaines, on public altercations and a YouTuber's responsibility.
Wow, public altercations. You actually said one of my favorite lines, but you said it in your own words because I always tell myself this because I used to be such a hothead back in the day that when emotions get high, the intelligence goes out the window. And I have been a person that when my emotions get high, intelligence definitely went way out the window to the fact that I said stuff that I can't even remember. I can't even repeat it, can't even recite it and tell you what it is today. All I know is that when I went up, I went all the way up. So I choose not to do that today. I'm a little more calm, mellow, the new improved version that y'all seen introduced in 2020. All of that stuff was before. We don't do that no more. So just remember that when emotions get high, intelligence goes out the window, and you might say things or do things that you'll regret the next day. So I choose not to have any type of altercations today. So I was just giving y'all a preview of what I used to be like. Today, you would love this person that you see right in front of you. A YouTuber's responsibility. I think it goes beyond YouTube. It's just in general. And it even ties into the public altercation. Whatever you put out there, trust and believe that we're all mirrors. So whatever you see, whatever I see is in me as well. So whatever I see in you, I have all of those bits and pieces in me as well. So you can act like you're 100%. You can act like you're all that. You can act like you're bigger and better than somebody else. But trust and believe that we're all mirrors. So there's always two sides to the coin. So just as good as you are, you got some bad in you as well. So what you want to have shine out on the outside? What do you want? Where are you going to be? So everybody has a responsibility to make sure that they put whatever they want out there, put it out there, because trust and believe whatever you put out there is going to come back.
That's true.
And that's what I got. That's what I got.
My final thoughts, I go backwards. A YouTuber responsibility. It's sad. And again, you're right. It goes beyond YouTube. It goes to social media and all aspects. If you're making a channel to watch stuff, do whatever the hell you want. You're just watching stuff. If you make a channel to influence people, you know that you are the level of nice and evil. You are the level of decency and debauchery. Now, wherever you want to go, there will always be one other side that will go against you. If you are good, evil will go around you. If you are evil, good will go around you and try to stop you. There always must be a balance in the responsibility of what you put out there. Tonight Talk, Tyrone Magnus, Hodge Twins, Fresh and Fit, all those guys that is getting all that money, all that recognition and everything else, there's going to be a reckoning. And then the day that you had the chance to change and redeem yourself to be a better person for yourself and the people that that follow you, it's here. Choose it. If you don't, 10 years, 20 years from now, 1 year, 2 years from now, you're going to be crying in your bed with that golden plaque up there that ain't worth shit because you lost it because of your own damn ego. That's one. Public altercations. Fights happen. That's why the world invented World Star. Honestly. But the best thing about public altercations is that, one, you can look at it as comedy, but you can also look at it as nefarious reasons and just bad education, bad communication, or just bad timing. Sometimes you're just in an altercation because you're just in the wrong damn place in the wrong damn time, which happens. I got punched 9 times in the face, but I'm not talking about that. So that's an altercation I can never say out loud. But what I can say about this, we have one more comment before I continue. I don't know if you know about the story about the 2 wolves at the end. It all depends on which one you feed. It all depends on that. But I will say this. If you get angry, take a breath, count to 10. If you're dumb and you can't count, say the alphabet. If you're dumb, you can't say the alphabet. Think of Kardashian butts. I'm pretty sure you know how many are there, aren't they? Other than that, just breathe. You can get angry, but like L says, anger diminishes intelligence. And then you're just a dumb brute. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Midnight Vibes. Thank you for passing by. Thank you for enjoying the madness. Shout out to Red Wolf. Shout out to Onyx Blake. Shout out to Misfit Nation. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to Kane. Shout out to my girlfriend Cardala coming back from the trip around the Puerto Rican island. Shout out to my hip pain, you son of a bitch. It fucking hurts. And shout out to I'm being dead ass serious. Shout out to Larry Gaines, www.larrygaines.com. But before we go, every week, I'm sorry. What the hell? My apologies. Every week before I go, I try to remind myself this because why? It's just the way to go. And why do I do this? Because he's a fucking sexy ass man. Hit it. That hurt. That hurt so fucking much.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were doing.
Good night, everybody. I'm drunk. I did not think that through. Good night. Ow.
Let's toast to my enemies, toast to my injuries, turn my negative to positive. I don't need no sympathy. I'm